Reflection by Reverend Father Clifford Atta Anim. Today's Gospel beautifully illustrates two miraculous works of Jesus, one involving healing and the other restoring life. Both miracles highlight the power of faith, even when it is imperfect or desperate. A synagogue ruler and a woman suffering from a chronic hemorrhage sought Jesus' intervention, and despite the flaws in their faith, they were richly rewarded. Jairus, the synagogue ruler, was a respected leader within the Jewish community. Given his position, he might have been expected to reject Jesus, who often challenged the religious authorities and associated with sinners. Yet, in his moment of desperation, with his daughter on the verge of death, Jairus set aside any concerns about reputation or religious bias. His trust in Jesus deepened, even when news arrived that his daughter had died. Instead of succumbing to despair, he continued to walk with Jesus, showing a faith that endured ridicule from others. This mirrors Abraham's unwavering trust in God's promise, and reminds us that true faith persists even when circumstances seem hopeless. The second miracle involves a woman who had suffered from a hemorrhage for 12 years. According to Jewish law, her condition rendered her ritually unclean, making her an outcast from society and places of worship. Despite this, she courageously approached Jesus, believing that even touching the fringe of his garment would bring healing. Her faith, though mixed with superstition, was met with Jesus' grace. Instead of rebuking her for breaking social and religious norms, Jesus affirmed her daughter, "Your faith has made you well. Go in peace." Just as Jesus touched and healed lepers, he did not reject those deemed unclean, but instead restored them to wholeness and community. Jesus meets us where we are. We do not need to have perfect faith or the right motives before approaching Jesus. He welcomes us in our brokenness, just as he did with Jairus and the suffering woman. Whether we are struggling with doubts, desperation, or even misconceptions, Christ extends his healing hand when we reach out to him. The Psalms remind us, "The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit," bringing our wounds to Jesus. Just as the woman and Jairus came to Jesus with their afflictions, we too are called to bring our physical, emotional, and spiritual wounds before him. His touch still heals, his word still restores, and his presence still transforms. Let us not hesitate to seek his help, trusting in his divine mercy and power. May we, like Jairus and the suffering woman, have the courage to approach Jesus with faith, knowing that he is the source of true healing and new life. God bless you.